I think that should be a requirement for these kids to see.
Absolutely.
I think I learned. I sat down in Istanbul, Turkey, with a Muslim, full Muslim, and a Jew. And again, I love the religion side of it. I love religion. I mean, I think there's relationship. However you get to God, I think that's your path. But it really changed my mind when I sat there for 2.5 hours having tea with these two gentlemen. And in our society, Muslims are bad, Jews are bad, you have to be on one side. You have to be on the Muslim side, you have to be on the Jew side, or you have to be a Christian, or you have to be, whatever it is. And I sat there and was just blown away that, whether they have different opinions, and we go back to America, we all have different opinions, but we can all say that we're alike. We have a commonality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And these two men, I mean, I said, I've been brought up that you guys don't like each other. There's nothing, that it does. And they both stood up and hugged each other and said, this is my brother. And
Yeah.
we're going to get to God, but we're going to get to God our own way.
Yeah.
Whether that's right or wrong. So it's like, that's kind of where the religious side of me, is when I started painting Jesus. I mean, I have my whole arm, this arm is tattooed with just religious. I mean, it's just all religion. Buddha, I've got Jesus, I've got, that's been my quest for probably the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And this last year I've started, I practiced Buddhism for a while. I'm Christianity. This year I kind of have started into like more of a plant medicine. I think that there's so much out there that we don't know, that we think we know, that we're experts on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think the point that you're trying to make is that there isn't the divide that we've been led to believe. I've also traveled around the world. I was in North Africa, in Morocco, right after September 11th, like 30 days after. I was one of probably the few American travelers in that nation. The people were so kind to me and grateful for America. And I learned all about their religion, and you can understand how passionate they are about their religion when you watch them. During their 5 prayers throughout the day, they stop everything to do their prayers, and you realize how passionate they are about their religions. But I've spent time in Kuwait and Dubai and all these, these countries with Muslims that, these are wonderful people. And I think that divide is a lot of the problem that we have in the U.S. I mean, talking about racism and all these other things, I mean, I laughed this morning, Trump's list of people that he pardoned came out, and it's like Lil Wayne and all these, black people that people are saying, this man's a racist. Well, if he was a racist, one of his last acts was to pardon several African Americans. I mean, come on. Let's not continue the divide. Let's be open to everybody's opinions and thoughts, and let's start coming together in an appropriate way so that we just aren't dealing with that, because it shouldn't exist.
No, you're absolutely right. And you hit on it something too. In other countries, every country that we've been in, and I'm sure if you've traveled too, it's like you're a beacon of light to those people, whether you want to believe it or not. I mean, we would be in again, I'll just go back to Turkey. And this was when Obama was getting voted in, and they're saying, "What are you guys doing?" It's like, and again, I don't want to say that it was, Obama was bad or anything else, but it's like, people see they follow us.
Yeah.
And now with all this that's going on, I just, and it's still going on. It's like, and again, I don't want to get caught up into the conspiracies and stuff. It's like, but you look on your feed, people are still saying, well, Trump is still going to be in, and Q is doing this. It's like, that's great. I mean, that's fun if you want to keep going on with it. And who knows? I have no idea. I woke up today. I went on a beautiful walk with my wife. I kissed her. Right now is what I have, and right now is beautiful.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I agree with you. Today is Inauguration Day. I mentioned it. And, people are expecting this massive, I don't know, uprising or who knows what the expectations are today. I just believe if we focus on our own truths, who we are as people and how we can make this world a better place, that we are all going to survive whatever the political environment is. the politicians are not our gods. And you talked about it earlier. We've got people from around the world that have a different way to get to God, their version of God, whatever that might be, whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, etc. Politicians are not our gods, and they are not the end all. And I think if we can start there, we might be a better society. The conspiracy theories, we need to put those aside. And I think if we're firm on our beliefs and who we are and really what we want this country to look like, then we as individuals need to step up and do the work and not allow the politicians to dictate, how and where we go in the future.
I control my happiness, and that's something that I've learned. You know what I mean? And at 56 years old, it sounds so crazy, but it does start with me, plain and simple. My life has changed drastically when I've changed myself, and that's just it. I could still be in Vegas, bitching and complaining because this doesn't work and that doesn't work. I can move to Utah and bitch and complain because this isn't working. But you know what? Right now I'm happy. Yeah. And there's times when I'm not happy, and I'll deal with that when I'm not happy. But I'm not looking to this weekend and what I'm doing. I'm not looking to, we were chatting last night. It's like when you text me to do it, and I was going to be here at that time. I didn't think about it last night. It's like, okay, now I'm here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like whatever happened, if the phone goes off or if something goes off, I'm present here.
Yeah.
And when we can fully become present where we're at and not, wishing we were somewhere else or can't wait till my 4:00 appointment or can't wait till I hurry up again. You know what? Life gets a whole lot better. I've learned that.
Yeah. I think what's also important to note, to your point about being in the present, is by being willing to help others and be present, we therefore are helping ourselves to be better people. And I, David Meltzer was my business coach for several years and taught me the principle of, giving, like truly giving back to give back, not to receive something in return, but give back. And by helping others through me, they can be better. And it's interesting. I'm training I've got 3 14-year-old young men at my house 5 days a week in my gym downstairs. And I've taken so much joy in these kids coming over after school, getting them working out, showing them a training program, how to get healthy and all these things. And it's funny because their dad's like, well, they're going to pull weeds for you this summer. I'm like, no, I don't want them to do anything for me. This is me giving of myself to them to become better people. And I want to set an example for them. And I've been driving them home after the workout so the parents don't have to come back. And I've taken so much pleasure in that. The act of doing something for somebody else for all the right reasons. And I think that's where we need to get to as a society and get away from all these other things that are clouding our minds and who we're trying to become. It's not a good thing.
Well, it's crazy because I know we spoke about this when we first talked, is like when I first started painting, I'd have art on my walls and people would come over. And I mean, I've literally given away more art than I probably sold. And, at the time, it's because you are giving, and again, I didn't want anything in return. If you appreciate what I have, then I want you to appreciate it in your own, in your own place. And I think that is one of the major reasons why people, and I don't, that my art is going off so well right now. And again, it's not because I didn't do that to get where I am right now. I did it because I wanted to. Mm-hmm. And I think that when you get to a place where you want to help people or where you want to bless people, if you want to say, or, that's sometimes too. It's like, it's the little things. It's the very little things that you can do. Again, changing, it starts with you. Just change a little bit. And the abundance is ridiculous. The overflow is ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't doubt that for you for a second. I've seen it in my own lives, and I do try to teach that in my coaching and the work that I do with some of my clients is our ability to give back definitely comes back in an abundance. Just to switch a little bit to some politics. Not that we haven't skirted that most of the discussion. I mean, it is the 20th, and it is on Inauguration Day. I put up a post this morning about I took a picture of a screenshot of Trump at the plane waving goodbye, and I had posted up that I feel that he was probably one of the greatest presidents that we'll ever see once the media tones down and stops attacking some of the things that are blatantly I don't know, against what they're looking for. But at the same time, I said as well in the post, I hope and pray for this country that Biden is that savior or that person that half the country thinks that he is, that voted him in and gave him the power, because through him now, and they have complete control, they can do great things, and I pray that that's what happens. And I also pray that this country gets back to putting God as a foundation in our decision processes and how we move forward, because this country was established on a God of a higher being, and the Constitution was written around that. And I've seen the deterioration of that, and I've seen what's happened around America. So I'm just publicly saying it on the show that that's what I posted this morning and how I feel. And I do hope that Biden is the person that half America is hoping for.
Yeah, I mean that's all we can hope for. And when it all comes right down to it, we're not in control of it.
That's right.
There is a God that is in control of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have a friend
that want to believe.
I have a friend that's very opinionated about politics, and he was in this heated discussion on his Facebook page, and his response to 9 out of 10 were, "My guy wins in the end. My guy wins in the end." And everybody's like, "Your guy's going to be out of here," this and that. And finally somebody says, "Hey, don't you remember Dan is a very strong Christian. His guy is God." Right. And it's like, oh yeah, your guy wins in the end. I've made it a point, within my political followings is to try to follow other believers and kind of their position on politics and where things are at. And I think Charlie Kirk does a great job. So does Candace Owens. If you're looking for somebody out there to kind of follow along and hopefully get some real news and some real debate topics, I think those guys, both of them, are doing a great job. What are your thoughts on today? Just curious, where your head's at and how you're approaching the day and the weeks to come.
I can control myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't have much control on what Trump did. I didn't have much control on what Obama did. I didn't have any control on what Clinton did. I didn't have any control on what Reagan did.
Right.
So there's my whole thing. You know what? Yesterday, I still have bills to pay. I still have to feed myself. I still have to be a good person. The minute I start being an idiot is when everything around me turns to crap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's what happens. So as far as who's going to be the president, I think that, what did we know? What did we know when any president comes in? They all say the same thing. Unify each other. We're going to help her. I think one thing is I really do. I think the more we help people, the more we're going to see benefits from it. Plain and simple.
Yep. Plain and simple.
And I'm not saying to give everything to everybody. I think there's plenty of ways to, we're all, I think when it comes right down to it, I think we all could be president because we all have an idea and that's all they have. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's where I stand with it. Is Biden my guy? Well, he is now, and as much as I don't like to say that and before, I think that's just kind of me growing up a little bit because I was, Obama's the crap. It's all a power struggle. That's all this is. All this is a power struggle. Trump was in power. Biden wanted the power. Before that was Bush and Clinton, and they all want the power. They're one man.
Yep.
We're the people.
Yep. Exactly. I always laughed at people that had this major Trump derangement and what a terrible guy he was and this and that. I thought, how has he actually affected your personal life? Like, how has he literally affected your personal life for you to hate him that much? And I'll tell you, Biden's not my guy, but he is the president of the United States, just like Obama was, who wasn't my guy either. But I didn't throw a fit over it. I went back to work the next day. Like you said, I still got bills and kids to raise, and I still got people to help, and I want to do the right thing.
Right. Yeah, I'm not going to be flying Biden's not my president flag on for my truck.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be, because what does it do? There's nothing, because then there's a right and a wrong. I think there is definite right and wrong, but I think there's so much gray area when it comes to this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? There's nothing, we have it as of right now, the the Supreme Court is, where I like it, where I hope that it goes, more on a conservative level of it. I'm far more libertarian than I am Republican or Democrat. I think that we're all grown people, and I think that you should be able to raise your kids how you want to raise them. I should be able to do what I want to do.